Alrighty, so the only game of tonight between the Seattle Sounders and LA Galaxy have just finished, and in the end, it ends on even as it ends 1-1 between both of these teams, but I am wearing Galaxy because there's no doubt that they're going to be the more happier side coming out of this 1-1 draw, considering the fact that they were really holding on for dear lives in the second half. Like, Seattle was really pressing to try to get all 3 points in the game, and because of the fact that the Post once again victimized the Sounders in this one, and also Jonathan Bond making some incredible save to keep this at a 1-1 draw, is the reason why the Galaxy was able to escape Lumen's Field with a point. Now, early on in the first half, and the first thing I want to mention is the Twitter stream. And remember how I said in the preview how I kind of gave some compliment on the Twitter stream? Yeah, MLS gods basically saw that and say, yeah, we're going to punish you for that. Remember how last time you said you're not going to do it again and you basically just did it? Yeah. We're going to punish you by basically showing that the Twitter stream is absolutely crap, and that once again, the Twitter stream decided to not even show the first 10 minutes of the game and decided to show a completely wrong game in a Liga MX women's match instead of the one between the Seattle Sounders and the Galaxy. And it got so bad that I actually had to basically scramble to look for a knockoff stream because of the fact that, obviously I don't have 2DN and I rely on the Twitter stream to watch these games that is on Twitter. But when I have to rely on knockoff stream, and especially the one that I should be able to watch free, that it is very, very bad. And I even tweeted out early in this game that I hope in the next broadcast deal that MLS is going to do, they better change the broadcast deal in a way where just ban any MLS game that is going to be shown on Twitter, because it's just getting absolutely ridiculous. The fact that, with these Twitter's game, not only the fact that it's bad quality with bad commentators, but they can't even get the broadcast right. They can't even show the game correctly for this one. And many people missed like the first 10 minutes of this game because of the fact that the Twitter stream was not working. But that being said, with the way that I started watching this around the third minute, I thought early on the Sounders were on the front foot, though eventually the Galaxy did kind of woke up and started to dominate possession, and they actually got the opening goal of this game in the 19 minutes as Chicharito would score from Depew and Leggett to give the Galaxy a 1-0 lead. That was just a very classic Chicharito goal where that he is a dangerous poacher, and he basically just able to get into the back post completely unmarked and basically score a tap in to give the Galaxy a 1-0 lead, and that's definitely bad news for certainly a lot of these teams that is in the playoff race, hoping the fact that with the Sounders doing very well this season, they can maybe get a win and help them out, and all of a sudden they find themselves seeing the team that they're rooting for to hope to beat the Galaxy down 1-0 in this one. Though I'm pretty sure if you're a Sporting KC or a Colorado Rapids fan watching this, they probably was very happy when that goal of course went in, because now the Sounders have to find a way to come back from this game if they have a chance to take that top spot in the West. Now, Ladero missed wide from a 20-yard free kick in the 24th minute. And I just kind of thought the Sounders looked very dysfunctional, both on the offense and on the defense. It's not very often you see a Sounders team that is very dysfunctional, but I just thought that they just kind of looked flat in the first 30 minutes of this game. Now, there was a shout for a penalty for the Sounders that was not given in the 34th minute. Then Ruidíaz basically puts one just wide from long range, as all of a sudden the Sounders started to finally get things going and started to try to press for an equalizer before the half ends. But before the half ends, the Galaxy had a big opportunity to make it 2-0, and Leggett will definitely they be thinking about this one, as somehow in some way Stephen Fry absolutely robbed him there from point blank range. And yeah, the Galaxy could have easily been 2-0 up heading into halftime, but they will have to settle for a 1-0 lead heading into the second half. Now in the second half, it was Stephen Fry's turn to once again make a big save, this time robbing Alvarez from point blank. So we talk about how Bond of course makes some big save in this game. Don't forget about Stephen Fry. He also makes some big saves, especially in the first half, to keep the Sounders team only down 1-0 in this one. And that big save that he made just 2 minutes in the second half turns out to be huge, because just 3 minutes later, a penalty was given to the Sounders as O'Neill Fisher brought down Rodon in the box, which Rudy Diaz was able to put away the penalty. And by the way, Rudy Diaz must have saw what Emmanuel Reynoso did back on Sunday, tried to cheeky Panenka to score a goal, and he just decided that, you know what, I can do that too. So he decided to do a little cheeky Panenka too, and this one, of course, goes in to tie the game up at one apiece. And I also started to see there's a lot of players that have started to use the cheeky Panenka in terms of the penalty kick, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with trying to do the cheeky Panenka, but as I said before, there's always tends to be a lot of risk when you try to do that. And you know, it seems like right now maybe goalkeepers might start to take note then, and that they don't want to just dive too soonly, because I think eventually, you know, I know if we're going to see more Panenka that is going to be taken, you're going to assume that there's going to be one of them that has been saved. Though, to be fair, there was one Panenka that have failed recently, and you know, we all remember the Brenner Panenka and how bad that, of course, when and that it just shows you, when you try the Panenka, it is high risk and high reward. If you get it right, it's just such a cool moment. But if you get it wrong, then yeah, you're definitely going to be hearing it from your fans and certainly your manager. But just 8 minutes later, Rudy Diaz looked to score his second goal as he hits one high from close range. And then at the hour mark, it was definitely an emotional moment for Sounders fans as they saw Jordan Morris come in for this game. Obviously, you know, there's been a lot of reports that Jordan Morris is going to be ready to play for the Sounders team for the latter part of the season, and in this game, I think a couple of days ago, even Brian Schmertz said that, you know, Morris is ready to get back into the Sounders team, and here he is coming off the bench for Rudy Diaz and coming back from the Sounders team for the very first time ever since he suffered that torn ACL during his loan to Swansea City. Now, in the 68th minute, the post would deny Rodon and the Sounders the lead. And by the way, when Christian Rodon hits this one off the post, it actually ricocheted right back toward the back of Bond, and it actually goes wide of the net. And you know, for Jonathan Bond, he's probably very relieved, not only the fact that one hits the post, but we've seen it before. When the ball hits the post and ricochets off of the goalkeeper, it somehow can redirect back toward goal. But this was one of the rare time that it did not do so. And yeah, again, Jonathan Bond, he's probably very fortunate for both of that luck kind of gone in his way. But there was no doubt the Sounders was pressing for a second goal. Arriaga had a header that goes high in the 80th minute before Kellen Rowe tried a long-range effort that is deflected one. Then on the very next sequence, Rodon once again hit the post for the second time, as that was kind of a little training ground move from the Sounders, playing this one in the near post, and that Rodon was just kind of Rodon just kind of got completely unmarked, and he almost flicked one that goes into the back of the net, but it hits the post. Before, in the second minute of stoppage time, Bond absolutely robbed Arriaga, who put a very powerful header, and somehow, in some way, Bond was able to make some cat-like reflexes to push that one onto the post. And yeah, in the end, it ends in a 1-1 draw in this game, despite the fact that the Sounders were putting relentless pressure against the Galaxy late to try to chase those 3 points. And the shots in this one, 12 shots compared to 9 that the Galaxy had, 3 shots on goal compared to 4 that the Galaxy had, 3 shots off target compared to 7 that the Sounders had. Both teams had 2 shots that was blocked, and possession-wise, 52% possession compared to 48% possession that the Galaxy has in this game. And like I said, you know, I'm pretty sure the Galaxy are going to be the more happier side coming out of this game, because not a lot of teams are able to go to Lumansville and able to get points away from the Seattle Sounders, and especially against the Sounders team that, you know, I thought they pretty much started the strongest team in this one, and yet they weren't able to walk away with all 3 points. They have to share the points away. And also with this win for the Galaxy, I think this puts them now up to 6th place in the Western Conference. Obviously, they still have to wait to see whether or not in tomorrow's game between LAFC versus Vancouver, if, you know, LAFC does get the win, I think they would be tied with their intercity rival on points. But if Vancouver gets the lead, they'll drop back down to 7th place. And also, if RSL do get the win, then they'll actually drop out of the playoff picture, or the not well, actually not the playoff picture, but drop below the red line right now. But that final game of the season where they get to play against Minnesota, that's a game where if those resources where we see both Vancouver and RSL gets the win in the middle of the week, that game could be the game that decides playoffs. And in fact, I actually found out that game is going to be on FS1, and I was also kind of very tempted to try to go to that game. I decided not to do it because, again, it's a relatively late. It's a trip that it's kind of relatively far away, and the fact that since it's happening on Sunday, and I think I have to work on Monday, I kind of don't want to really make that trip, even though I know it's probably the biggest game of the season. And not to mention, I also have to keep up with other decision day games, and also I think going to be attending the final Quakes game, where that could also be the final game that Wando is going to play. I'm not going to miss that one, even though if that game is kind of a little bit meaningless. That's kind of the reason why probably I'm not going to be going to the game between the Loons and the Galaxy next Sunday. But like I said, if depending on how Resort goes, that could be the game that could decide playoff hold. And hopefully for the Galaxy, after getting this big points, they can ride that momentum heading into Sunday, where they could potentially play to get a win and move on into the playoffs. But for the Sounders, even though the good news is they're now above SKC in first place in the West, SKC still have to play against Austin, and if SKC does beat Austin, then SKC basically retake that first position, and we could potentially have a situation heading into the final day where 3 teams could be battling for the top spot in the Western Conference. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys like, smash the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this game? Tomorrow we got another game between LAFC versus the Vancouver Whitecaps. As I mentioned, that's going to be a big playoff 6-pointer. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this game? And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.